Sweet. Can I wear a t-shirt? Is it all good?
Yeah. Is it the UFC one?
T-shirt?
Nah.
Sorry.
Then you guys
Yeah. Sorry, I was like, yeah.
I was gonna try it, but
Yeah. I mean, you could. It just, I don't want you to get in trouble and say we didn't warn you. Well, man, let's talk about your UFC career so far, because it's been 2 big wins and 2 kind of fight of the night type efforts, man. How have you felt about your performances so far?
I felt they've been very entertaining. I don't feel like they've been my best displays of like my skill set, but yeah, man, I'm pretty happy with how they've gone and like the reception I've received. So yeah, no complaints. And this week, I'm looking forward to as much as my coach and stuff don't really like that style of fighting, like I do have a good time doing that, but I would like to elaborate a little bit on my skill set.
Yeah, I was going to wonder about that, because I mean, I'm sure ideally you go in there and throw one punch, fight's over, you dominate, whatever the case may be, but the fights that you've had have been incredibly entertaining, but your coaches are trying to steer you out of that?
Yeah, because they know I'm better than that, and also like longevity wise, it's not the best. It's not the best way to spend your career. Like, I'd like to help my kids with their homework one day. So the more I can look after myself and fight a lot cleaner, maybe like take a few examples out of Israel's book, would be better. But so that's my goal this week.
Fair.
But it could always end up in a war. Yeah.
I think it might. So talk about this. I mean, talk about the adjustments that you had to make. I mean, your team has seen a lot of what it takes to fight in this environment, right? I mean,
yeah.
Have there been any tweaks that you've had to make for either your training or the execution with no crowd?
We had like a little bit of simulation work for that no crowd situation, mainly for the guys that haven't experienced this. Like, I was fortunate enough to experience this with Alex. So and also, I mean, in a way, me and Israel have experienced this in China, because when you fight in China and you fight a local guy and you're winning, and it goes dead quiet, man. Like, I'm talking not even a noise. So we won a lot over there. So we fought in a lot of silence. So it's not too foreign to us. And like I said, I've experienced with Alex. And when I was actually cornering, I completely forgot there was no crowd because I got so immersed in the fight. So I was like, sweet, this is probably going to happen when I fight too. So,
very nice.
Yeah.
Talk about prepping on this card, right? I mean, obviously another huge one for the whole team. I mean,
yeah.
We talk about that sometimes. Is there something really to that? I mean, where like it kind of brings your level up because you're watching, the champ get ready, and of course the whole team's in there.
Yeah, I guess like our momentum and self-motivation pushes all of us. Like, you see your mate, some days you might be a little bit tired and you see your mate pushing harder, and so you're like, darn, it picks you up. And so we're constantly like trying to like better each other as well. And we know the tidal wave will cause when we get those 4 wins. Like, it's just going to go, we've had 3 wins and we had another 3 wins, we're going to have 4 wins. It's going to be a very unique experience, and I can't wait. Yeah, I'm very confident that we're going to get those 4 wins.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about Alex Da Silva. What do you think of him? A young kid, impressive record though already early in his career. What do you think about him as an opponent?
Yeah, man. Like, you got to be cautious of everybody you fight in the UFC. And I was originally matched up with Austin Hubbard, and then I got put on to Alex. So I'm not stupid. I've been in this game quite a long time. And yeah, he is dangerous, but I'm fully prepared for like everything he has, and I'm very confident that I'll be fine. He is young, he is hungry. I'm young and I'm hungry. I'm very experienced. He's got a lot of MMA fights, but I have a lot of fights in general. I've had a lot of time like stepping into a cage or a ring and fighting, so that always seems to work in my advantage. And I'm really looking forward to fighting him, because Magomed sort of broke during that fight, and he sort of held on to me. Like, to his credit, he's very, very strong, and he's hard to get off me, but it was more like a desperation hold to stop me, because he knew if we separated what was going to happen again. So I feel like Alex isn't really that fighter. I feel like he's going to come at me, and when people generally do that, I do fight my best. So yeah, it's good for me.
Very nice. Last thing for me, I'll ask you the goal here. I think you kind of touched on maybe a little, but I mean, obviously the goal is always to win. Mm-hmm. But is this to just show a fight where you don't allow yourself to get dragged into a war? Is that the ultimate goal here?
My goal is to perform and entertain. I understand this is the entertainment business, and everything's based on performance, and like the whole package, you need to like conquer everything on all fronts. So yeah, man, like it is however it turns out is how it turns out, and as long as I perform and entertain, I'm a happy man. So yeah.
Let's go one quick one. for you? You know how we've been talking about, like, you don't want to get into a brawl, and your coaches have told you don't get into that.
Well, he doesn't want me to get into a brawl. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to ask. Does it make it less fun for you to have to be more disciplined? Would you rather get, obviously the long-term consequences, you can't ignore them, but does it make it less fun to fight when you have to be more disciplined?
No, it's like there's enjoyment in every aspect of the sport, like the science of it, like that beautiful technicality of just having the cleanest fight and avoiding everything and just making them miss and making them pay. Like there's beauty and joy in that, and then there's also like beauty in that raw gladiator style of just going in there and trying to break someone through like being physically stronger than them and having like a bigger willpower. So yeah, to answer your question, it's definitely not more boring. They're equal on my
Have you
mind.
had a conversation with your coach about, like, look, if I halfway through round 2 start swinging, don't tell me in the corner, right, you got to put it back because that's the fight I'm going to be in, or they're going to pull you back?
Nah, they'll pull me back. I always listen to them. You know, they have wells of more experience than I do.
Yeah.
So whatever they're seeing out there is compared to I you know, I have good eyes in there and I see things that they don't see, but their experience outnumbers mine by a lot. So I need to listen to them regardless. Yeah.
Do you, not to compare you to someone else, but do you look at someone like Justin Gaethje, who said the exact same thing as you? He enjoys brawling.
Yeah.
Right now, being more disciplined, he's had this huge resurgence. You know, lost a couple, now he's fighting for a title.
Yeah.
Do you look at him and say, like, okay, so there's evidence that being more disciplined with the brawling background
Yeah.
benefit you?
Yeah, well, I know that through experience from myself, like of knocking up around like 80 fights. So I've sort of done it all in there. I've had like the good, the bad, the brawls, the technical fights, and that with that Justin Gaethje fight, I said the only way he was going to win is if he came out as a brand new complete fighter, and he did that. So the times that he did brawl, he actually lost. I think he got stopped. So yeah, man, twice. So it's a good example of what not to do. Yeah.
How do you think Justin does against Khabib later this month or next month?
I'm very curious. I think Justin has proved to be phenomenally hard to take down, and if that can remain standing, I think he will take that fight. But I mean, that's a big if. That guy has proved over and over again that he's like a force to be reckoned with on the ground. Like he's just a monster. He clearly has some freakish strength in him that breaks men's souls, and they feel it when he gets hold of them. And I think it's a shock to them. I think they think, oh yeah, I will be strong enough to handle this. And then obviously Dustin, you heard him in that corner saying, I just have no space, I can't move. It's like, I think it's a different sort of suffocation, man. If he can't get taken down, he'll win. But yeah.
And then, looking at through you and your teammates' social medias, Israel said like 2 weeks ago he felt like he was peaking and he had to pull it back. And
Yeah.
on one of your social posts, you were saying like I've never felt physically better, and you were like it was like a picture of you and like without a shirt and everything. So what is it in this fight camp that all of you are peaking like so at the right time?
It comes down to a couple of our coaches. So obviously Eugene, and we have another guy called Adam. Adam does like all our programming, all our conditioning and stuff like that. He like periodizes our training, and the way he designs is that so we do peak perfectly. I didn't even know about this whole Vegas thing that we were ending up flying there and having this extended amount of travel, but they made us peak at the right time so that those airplane flights and that couple of days of extra travel was actually like a great rest, and then we sort of ramped it up in those last couple of days in Vegas, and then jumped back on a plane, had a big rest, and then now we're just plateaued and everyone's sort of fizzing. You can feel the energy when we do like our workouts. So we just do one a day, and like everyone's itching, feeling like my body feels like it doesn't understand why it's having so much rest, and it just wants to go again, man. So
they used the plane ride as a rest day. They timed it like that.
I have a feeling they did, because the last few days back in New Zealand were horrendous. Like they were so hard, man. Like I was waking up in the morning, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm so tired and so sore. And then the last session, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get on the plane. So I'm just gonna lie there, and then we were lucky enough to have like premium and then some first class. So it was some good rest, man. It was well earned. Yeah.
Cool.
All good?
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty.